back to our Liquid Lab segment here at the Dr. Pepper Museum. So today we are going to be showing y'all how to make a soda bottle xylophone in your very own home. This is a really fun interactive that we have sometimes at the museum. I'll go into the one that we have here in just a little bit, but first the materials that you need to make this at home. It's pretty simple. You just need some glass containers. Doesn't have to be bottles necessarily, although we always have lots of empty Dr. Pepper bottles because we drink so much Dr. Pepper around here. So I rounded up a few of those. But if you don't have any empty soda bottles, mason jars work perfectly fine, a glass cup, that thing, anything glass. And you need some water to make your xylophone, and then you also need a metal spoon. One more thing you can use, but you don't need to have, is food coloring. So I have added some food coloring to this water just to make it a little bit easier to see when it goes into the bottle. So when you've rounded up multiple containers, maybe 3 or 4 of your glass containers, you can take your spoon and kind of tap the containers. These are all the same bottles, so when I tap the bottle with the spoon, the glass vibrates, and the sound that's produced is pretty much the same for each of the bottles because they're very uniform. Now to change the sound that comes out of the bottle, when you tap it with the spoon, you can add some water. You can add different amounts of water to each container and see what sound is produced once that happens. So I've already filled up some of my cups with different amounts of water. Like I said, I've colored the water as well. This was just something that I prepared maybe like 10-15 minutes, in 10 or 15 minutes, just before we started filming. So I've added a small amount of water to my Dr. Pepper bottle. Let's go ahead and compare and see what the empty bottle sounds like versus the bottle with a little bit of water. So there's our empty bottle. And there's our slightly filled bottle. So we've got a different sound there. Okay, now we can go ahead and do that with the rest of these bottles. Now there's no exact science to this when it comes to measuring the water. Like I said, I put this together in about 10-15 minutes or so. So it's pretty easy. You don't have to get super exact with the measurements. But once you do pour the water into your bottles, you can go back and tune your soda bottle xylophone by pouring out or adding in a little bit more water. So you can see that this bottle right here with the red, I think that one has the least amount of water. And then the last bottle that I'm about to fill is going to have the most amount of water. Now the more water that you add to your bottles, the lower pitch it's going to produce. The note is going to be very low. And that kind of makes sense when you think about it. If you think about musical instruments, like a big stand-up bass, that's a very large, big instrument, produces a very low pitch, very low sounds. But a small musical instrument like a flute or a little violin produces a much higher sound, much higher pitch. So the more water you add to your container, the lower the sound, the lower the pitch. All right, so we've added our water. Let's go ahead and test this out and see how it works. There we go. We got our soda bottle xylophone. So like I said, we threw this together really, really quickly, 10-15 minutes or so. You can spend a lot of time fine-tuning your instrument though. We actually had an employee, an intern who turned into an employee that did spend a lot of time working on this last year. So if you have some time on your hands, you can take a tuning app or go to a tuning website and, like I said, tune your instrument. This is the version that we use here at the museum. We've got our bottles, we've got bottle caps on there so we don't have any spills. We've labeled our bottles with the notes that we came up with the tuning app that we used. And then our wonderful employee, our former intern, also wrote some sheet music for visitors to use when they play the instrument. So you might be able to find some online. You can come up with your own sheet music. It's very interesting, very cool. Now, I have not played an instrument for a few years. I did play in high school, but I think right now I am willing to come out of retirement and play the soda bottle xylophone for all of y'all. Mary Beth, I've got a couple of pieces of music here. Would you like to do the honors of choosing which one I play for everyone?
Well, I think I'm biased, and we'll have to choose Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Ah, there we go, yeah. So Mary Had a Little Lamb, absolutely. So the notes that are going to be used with the sheet music is A, G, F, and I think a little bit of C. So let's get started here. Oh, hold on, sorry. Like I said, coming out of retirement. All right.
Woohoo!
All right, so there you go, your very own soda bottle xylophone. It's really easy to make. Like I said, just a glass container, water. You can add food coloring if you want to make it look really pretty, really cool. And then a spoon. It's as easy as that. So feel free to try it out at home. Share, take video of it, share it with us on our social medias, and tag us. So have a good time. Bye.